Well, hello everybody, Jamie the Board Game Man, and today we're looking at a game from Ravensburger from the year 2018. It is called Push. Now in this game, you are trying to score as most points as you can before the deck runs out. Now how you do that, you start with 3 different rows that you can lay down your cards, but you cannot lay the same color card or the same number in the same row. If you do, or you don't have any more rows, well then unfortunately, you will bust and you don't get any points for that round. But if you decide to stop pressing your luck, then you will take one of those rows into your own hand. Then the second player will take a row and the third player will take a row. This keeps going until the deck runs out. Then you score all your points. Whoever has the most points at that time wins the game. So let's head on over to the gamers table where I'm going to show you how to play Push. Alright, here we are at the gaming table with Push. Let's check it out. Alright, so here we have not too many components of the game. You have the die, you also have a deck of cards, and you also have the instruction booklet here. And let's go ahead, and there's not really much of a setup. I'll just go right into the gameplay. The object of the game is you're trying to get the most points in the game. Whoever has the most points wins the game. Now, what you do with these cards here is you're going to go ahead and take the deck, and you're going to start placing cards in front of you. You can have up to 3 columns. And the thing is about the columns is you cannot have the same number or the same colored card in the same row. Let's go ahead and show you how this works. So you're pretty much pushing your luck, hoping not to bust. So let's go. First card is a blue 6. So I can decide to stop if I want to, or I want to keep going. Obviously I want to keep going because I can have a minimum, or I should say a maximum of 3 rows in front of me here. Next one's a purple 2. All right. Next one's a purple 4. Now what I can't do is place it here. I can place it here, or I can start another row, depending on what I want to do. Let's just say I want to put it right here. The next one is going to be a yellow 4, which means I cannot put the 4 here, but I can put it here or start another row here. Let's just say I go ahead and put one right here. Next one's going to be a red 2, so same thing. I cannot put it here, but I can put it here or start at a third row, and so on. Next one's a red 1. I'll go ahead and place this here. Next one's going to be a purple 3. Now, thing is with this is now I have to start a third row because there's already a purple card here and a purple card here, so I have to place this here. Now let's just say I decided to go ahead and stop. I don't want to push my luck any longer. So what I decide to do is I'm going to go ahead and take one of these rows. Obviously, I want to take this row here because this is 12 points right here. So I would go ahead and take these 3, and I place them by color in front of me like so. The second player, which always goes clockwise, the second player would go ahead and probably end up taking this because this is 7 points. So player 2, I'll put this like this so you can see them, would be right here. And then the third player would go ahead and take the purple 3. Okay, and that is how that works, okay? Then the second player would go ahead and start up the stack again. But before I do that, let me go ahead and go over 2 different cards that are in the deck. First of all, you have the reverse. Now what happens is while you're doing these cards like so, let's go back to this example here. All right. Let's just say this is the way it is, the way it was before. Okay. And I went ahead and drew the next card, and it was the good old switcheroo. What would happen is if I drew this and I decided to stop, okay, then what I would do is I would still take my row, but then the second person, it would go counterclockwise. So the next player would actually not be this player over here, but it'd be this player over here. This player over here would go ahead and take this, and then the following player would take that. So that is what the good old switcheroo reverse, whatever you want to call that card, does. Now, once that all ends, then when you turn to play, when it comes to drawing the cards, it's going to continue to go clockwise. This card's only good for when you're dispersing the cards after you've put the cards down on the table. That's the only time this is used, is when you're dispersing the cards. When it comes to your actual turn taking, that always continues to go clockwise. So that does not change, okay? So that is what this card is. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you this card. This card is one, obviously, was going to make you, this is when the die comes into play. Let me go ahead and show you what happens with this. So let's go ahead, I'm going to place this in here. And let's see, let's go ahead and do a couple of things here. So, oh, I did a switcheroo. So this is now, I know once I'm done, is I'm going to go ahead and then the first person to my right will start getting the cards. Here's a yellow 1. All right, here we got a purple 4. Next card is a purple 2. So I can either put it here or here. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. We have a green 3. I'll go ahead and place that here. I have a green 2. I'll go ahead and place that here. Oh, then I have one of those cards, the die roll. This will go right here, or you can place it in any one of these rows here. The same rule applies to this, is you cannot have 2 of these same cards in the same row. So let's go ahead and say I'm going to start one right there. I have a green 2. Now I got to be very careful because I can't put it in either one of these rows. So that has to go over here. Let's decide I go ahead and stop because I don't want to do any damage. Okay, or I don't want to bust, I should say. So I can either pick one of these or I can pick this. This has the same amount of points. Obviously I don't want to choose this because I'm going to tell you why in a second. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and choose. I'll go ahead and choose these 3. So I'm going to go ahead and place the green card and the purple and the yellow. So there's 5 different colors. I'm going to lay these in front of me. Now since I drew this, the next player is going to be to my right. So this player, obviously we will want to take this. And they'll put these in the colors in front of them, like so. All right. Put these like this. That way I can get them all nice and neat here. Okay. And then this player over here will have the purple card. They will take these. Now, what happens is he's going to take this. And then you have this to contend with. All right. This is the discard pile here. Once that goes into play, this goes into discard. The player now has to roll the die. Whatever color they roll, they lose the color cards that are in front of them. So let's go ahead and do a die roll and see what happens. The black star. That means you are safe. All your cards are safe in front of you. But let's just say, for instance, he had rolled a purple. Then you lose all the purple cards that are face up in front of you, that are stashed in front of you, and they go into the discard pile. Same if I would have rolled a green, then of course I would have lost the green card and placed that in here. And thus obviously this would go into the discard pile as well. So this makes you roll the die. The only one that's safe is that black star. Now, if you start getting some cards down here, let's just say you start getting some, geez, if I can find some more colors here. Say I had some more cards I've been kind of banking along the way here, just kind of taking them, putting them in front of me like so. And I start getting pretty heavy on these purples here. So what if I want to do, instead of drawing cards out, I can say, you know what, I'm going to bank these. That way I'd never lose these. So I can go ahead and bank this, and I'll put them face down in front of me like so. That way all my purples are safe. So if somebody hands me one of these, okay, and say in the future I roll a purple, if I have any purple cards that are here face up, I would lose those, but I would not lose these because I took the turn. Instead of doing my laying out the cards, I decided to bank all my purples. And that's why you put them in different colors here. Play keeps going around until the deck runs out. That is the timer in the game. Once the cards run out, you'll play that final hand. You'll add up all the points that you have face down in front of you, and also the cards that are face up in front of you. And the player with the most points, after you add up all the numbers, all the points, wins the game. And that, my friends, is Push. So let's head on over to the game room, and I'll give you my final thoughts. 3, 2, 1. All right, so my final thoughts on Push. Well, who doesn't like a good old-fashioned push your luck game, whether it's a board game, card game, or dice game? We always love that. I mean, I love your push your luck where you, okay, do I want to go one more? Do I want to go one more? It's always that, let me flip one more card over. It always comes down to that. I also like how you can, you can actually give someone else a dice roll, or a die roll, I should say, and, watch them sweat because they're not banking any of their cards. They might have all these different colors down there that they haven't banked. And I'm like, you know what? they might be winning. And if we run out of cards, all those cards that are face up in front of them count. So I might want to, of course, as soon as you get 2 of those cards in 2 of those rows that, that make you want to roll the die, obviously you're going to automatically stop because you don't want to have to take one yourself. So I do like the game. It is a lot of fun. I like that as soon as the cards are done, game is over. Count all your points, count all the cards that are in front of you, and then whoever wins, wins. So I like that. It doesn't take too long. I think it's about maybe 15, 20-minute game, tops, I think. So, but it's a lot of fun. It is a great game. Get some friends together. Do it to it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it'd be one that you're just kind of sometimes on the edge of your seat every time you flip a card, hoping that you don't have that same color or number that you have in one of your rows already. It's a great game. And you can find this at Barnes & Noble. I was lucky I found this over at good old McKay's. I think I found it for like $6 or something like that. $6 or $8. I think I found this at McKay's. I knew all about it because you see it at Barnes & Noble all the time. So I know you can definitely find it on there. I didn't even look on eBay, but I'm assuming you could probably find it on eBay cheaper than what Barnes & Noble sells it for. I don't remember how much Barnes & Noble sells it, at least at the time of taping. I really don't remember. It's been a little while since I've been to Barnes & Noble, but I do know that they always have this sitting there in the game section. So if push comes to shove and you can't find a good one on eBay, you can always go to Barnes & Noble and they have it there. So, all right, well, that's my review on Push. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. And as always, happy gaming!